Welcome back to JB Reviews. I have to talk to you guys about this upcoming Ram for the cabin chassis segment. Most of you guys know that Ram is doing a refresh for the 2025 model year, including the cabin chassis. Now there's some great updates coming for this truck. Cannot wait to go over them. Now I want to hear from you guys who actually buy, own, and really work these trucks, because I want to read your comments. I want to see your thoughts on these updates that Mopar Insiders just unveiled, because I was under the impression that Ram was going to do something a little different, and no, that didn't happen. But I'm here at Larry H. Miller Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram in Sandy, Utah. They got a ton of upfits here, so if you are in the market, you might want to reach out to these guys. They got some really nice flatbeds here. These are 3500s. They have the headache racks on them and the goose ball, and they're black on black. I mean, you can't beat this look too. They look great. And who knows, maybe next week if I have time, I will do some videos on these, because these are really nice. And just real quickly, vinyl seats. I actually like the black on that gray too. Has the 8.4-inch display. Yeah, these are nice trucks. Maybe we'll take them down to the actually no, look at it right there. Nice. They already give you the payload sticker on these guys here. So yeah, I'll do some videos on these next week. But yeah, let's jump into the video. I want to talk to you guys about something. The new transmission for the cabin chassis. So where my readers at? I gotta tell you, I don't like reading on camera. I get nervous. I don't like reading in front of anybody, except for my wife. She doesn't care, she don't judge me. But yes, Mopar Insiders say that the cabin chassis are going to gain the power line. So let's see what they say here. While much has been discussed about the upcoming mid-cycle action for the 2025 Ram 2500 and 3500, new details are emerging about updates to the 3500, 4500, and 5500 chassis cab lineup. Though the exterior updates are modest, with a redesigned grille and updated headlights, the chassis cab models will feature a revised powertrain lineup with significant enhancements to performance and reliability. So starting off with the Cummins, we will receive several updates, including a redesigned cylinder head featuring external injectors and fuel rail lines, aimed at improving efficiency and reliability. Glow plugs will replace the traditional intake manifold grid heater, offering better cold start performance in harsh weather. Now, I know a few people have had some comments to say about that. Some people prefer them just to keep the grid heater. You guys know Josh. He's a master tech here, and he too said just leave it alone, not a big deal, because he says there's more things to break obviously when you have 6 gold plugs for this engine versus the 1 grid heater. So in the comment section, if you're a hot shotter, if you do work with these trucks a lot, I want to hear your thoughts on that too, for sure. Now it goes on to say here, the intake manifold has been redesigned to improve airflow, and the engine will now use top-loaded cartridge filters for oil and fuel, simplifying maintenance. I think that's a huge win for you guys that do hot shot. If you're doing your own maintenance on your truck, this is going to be probably the best thing for you, because it should make things a little bit quicker for you. A redesigned high-pressure fuel pump addresses previous reliability concerns, although it's kind of a lie. I mean, they actually fixed the problem, and now they decided to go with a CP4X, I believe it is, and we'll see how that goes. But whole set variable geometry turbo with a 10-blade design optimizes exhaust gas pressure and airflow, enhancing power delivery and responsiveness, especially during heavy towing. So the major update of the 2025 chassis cab models is the switch to the ZF Powerline 8-speed transmission. Now before I go and read this, I want to say something real quickly. On this new Cummins, I think that we're going to see better fuel economy right out of the gate. I think we're going to see better fuel economy. I also think that we're going to see a power bump for the cabin chassis as well, because if you don't remember, when Ford unveiled their new Power Stroke for 2023, the Power Stroke for the cabin chassis trucks did get a power increase. I know they got more torque. I think the horsepower might have stayed the same, but yes, I'm sure we'll see something similar here with this truck. So let's go and read. Now the article goes on to say that the ZF Powerline will be replacing the Eisen AS69RC. Okay, So this is what I want to talk about, because I was under the impression in my head, I mean, I don't talk to anyone at Ram, but I would have thought they would have kept the Eisen next to the Zia Powerline, because if you don't know this, most people buying these trucks, they normally order them to their spec. It's very rare that dealers will order these for stock, because everyone has a specific truck that they want, and they want it built a certain kind of way. Now, with that being said, this truck was actually ordered for stock, but you know, it's in a low trim level. It has the 74 gallons of fuel. So it was ordered right to where I think most people would be okay with this spec. But I wanted to see the take rate between the Zia Powerline and the Eisen, because I'm willing to bet you most guys, especially that do work in their trucks, go by that saying, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. And so I was hoping that Ram would have kept both until they did the complete redesign, which is probably in the next 3 years. Then they could have just got rid of the Eisen from that point on, because all the kinks would have been fixed, you know, within that time frame for guys to feel more confident about the new transmission. So I'm a little shocked by that personally. But I want to hear your thoughts if you do hot shot or if you buy these types of trucks. I want to hear what you have to say, because I want to learn here. Now, obviously, this new transmission, they're expecting smoother shifting, improved fuel economy, enhanced towing capabilities, the whole 9 yards. The 6.4 Hemi, big gas engine, that's what BGE stands for, will also return for 2025, no surprise. While the engine itself remains unchanged, the Hemi-equipped chassis cab models will now pair with the new Zia Powerline 8 AP 430, 8-speed. And basically that will be replacing the Eisen for that too. Now, as far as the 2500 and 3500 trucks go that are non-cabin chassis, you are going to be retaining the 8 HP 75 transmission. Now, I'm not sure if the Hemi will be the same for those trucks. As a matter of fact, I'm not sure what they're going to be doing for the gas engines for the half-ton segment, or I said half-ton, for the HD segment. But yes, we should probably potentially see some more horsepower and torque. That way they can kind of stay more in line with Ford's 7.3. Now, apart from that, that's pretty much all they said. They're expecting this truck to get unveiled at the Detroit Auto Show. I was going to go, but we've already traveled too much this year, and I'm tired of jumping on airplanes. So, and we're actually going next week to the East Coast. So, yes, I don't feel like traveling anymore. We'll see the trucks when they get here. But I want to hear you guys' thoughts. As of right now, Ram currently has a 444 available, which is standard. That is the highest gear you can get with this truck out back. Now, if you decide you want to go with max tow, that goes from a 444 to a 489. That is a really low gear for this truck, and that's really in part to the fact that the Eisen transmission is just outdated. I mean, when you think about the 10R140 and the 10L1000, the gears are a lot deeper in that transmission. So in those cases, they don't need this low gearing like Ram. So this is where they make up for it on these trucks with the 6-speed. Now, I'm pretty sure when we get the Powerline, you're gonna see probably lowest gear 430, standard probably a 410. That's gonna be where you're gonna get the best fuel economy advantage. You know, running these high gears, you're just gonna get killed on fuel economy 100%. Now, something else I hope that Ram does is they go to a fully boxed frame below the cab. That's something that Ford does, and of course, keep the C-channel back here, which helps with the upfits. Now, something that Ram does right is they do put this DEF tank below the cab, and I'm pretty sure they're gonna follow suit with that. That just helps a lot with, you know, doing your upfits. This is the optional fuel tank, and then that's the standard 52 gallon back there. Now let's go ahead and pop the hood. I wanna go over a couple more things and I'm gonna let you guys go. Currently right now, this Cummins is detuned, so it's gonna have 360 horsepower, 800 pound-feet of torque. I'm willing to bet you they're probably going to get over 900 pound-feet of torque for the next one, because I think Ford's is at 930 pound-feet of torque. And I think their horsepower is at 335, so I think the Ram's beating them there for sure. So that's going to be guaranteed. Now, as far as ease of maintenance goes, you guys can see this is where your fuel filter is, and then you have one back here. I'm not even sure where it would be at on this truck because I've never done one on here, but let's see. There it is. It's basically under the cab, and you guys see where the transfer case is right there. This one is easy to get to, it's just really messy to basically replace, unfortunately. Now the last benefit you're gonna get with that ZF Powerline is not in the cabin chassis trucks. Right now, if you get a GM or a Ford, if you don't want a cabin chassis, you can get PTO with their regular pickup trucks. Now, not on the high trim levels for GM, but on Ford, you can go pretty high up in trim level and get PTO. So with that being said, if you don't necessarily want a cabin chassis pickup, but you need PTO, I'm willing to bet you're gonna have that for those trucks now. So a lot of exciting things here. Last thing I'm gonna do, I'm gonna show you guys just some quick specs on the Eisen and the ZF Powerline, and that'll end the video. The Eisen's gear ratios are right here for the 6-speed, 375 to 1. Final is a 0.63 to 1, so just keep that in mind when I show you guys the Powerline. This transmission is made in Japan, and it is owned by Toyota. And then this is showing when they use this transmission from 2013 to current. Weighs about 400 pounds. And as far as the service interval goes, some people will tell you to go 30,000 miles. I've heard from other people they go 60, have had no problems. When I own my truck, I did every 30,000 miles for the fluid change, and I just went ahead and changed the filter as well. I mean, I'm pretty sure I didn't have to, but for me, I was traveling full-time cross country with our fifth wheel. Didn't want any issues. So here's a few more features here you guys can see for the PTO. That's what they were showing for that. Now, as far as the Powerline transmission goes, this is a German company that makes these transmissions. You guys can see some of the weights here. So wet is 25 pounds less compared to the Eisen. So I'm willing to bet you for 2025 3/4 tons, we're probably gonna get a higher GVWR. First gear, you guys see right there is a 4.89. And you guys see there, 0.64. So 0.63 was the final on this 6-speed, and it's gonna be a 0.64 on this one. So look how deep that first gear is gonna be. I mean, that's insane. As far as the PTO goes, I mean, they're showing the torque limits at 516 pound-feet of torque for single. And yeah, I mean, I'm excited to see what comes about with this new Powerline. It could be more reliable overall compared to the two outgoing, but as I've said in the past, the Eisen transmission is a good transmission despite what people say about it online. Be sure to subscribe to the channel, make sure your bell notifications are on. See you guys soon.